Welcome to the Chamber of Schenectady County's interview with Mayor Gary McCarthy, who is a candidate for re-election to Mayor of the City of Schenectady. I'm Jack Arnicke, and I'm pleased to be your host today. The Chamber is nonpartisan and issue-focused. Today we'll be discussing issues that affect the City of Schenectady, as well as businesses located in Schenectady County and around the Capital Region. What is your top priority for the city, and how are you going to accomplish it?
The top priority I have is still dealing with distressed properties. We have, neighborhoods that are challenged. We have a lot of housing stock that, the city was built for a community of 100,000 people. We've got 66,000 people. And for a long time, there wasn't an investment in the neighborhoods. Over the last 4 years, I've focused the resources. So in fact, we're still doing the development of downtown, but we have a plan in place to knock down the worst of the worst properties. And we're marketing home ownership opportunity through our homes program, Home Ownership Made Easy in Schenectady, and put together a coalition of banks, realtors, other community leaders to point out the opportunities that do exist within the city of Schenectady and its great neighborhoods.
And how are you seeing that happening? Because even though you may take down some blighted buildings in a neighborhood, in many cases they are still old, tough neighborhoods. How is the transition, in your view, going with that?
It's, I look at it much like downtown. We have about 12 years of working under a unified economic development team to produce the results that you see in downtown today. Downtown is a relatively small parcel when you compare it to the entire city of Schenectady. So we have a bigger challenge in the neighborhoods, and it is happening, but it's going to really be a decade or longer campaign to bring the neighborhoods up to the full standard that we would all like, and so the community commands the level of respect that it once did.
What is the most positive attribute that you see in this city?
It's people in the environment where we're looking at opportunity. Here we're seeing younger, smarter people come back in with GE, with other businesses in the area. I think it just bodes well for the future.
And how are you going to build on that?
Again, some of it is the housing, being able to attract them here and also keep them in Schenectady. You look at Proctor's, it draws 650,000, 700,000 people a year to what I call the Proctor's campus. It's not only the main stage, but it's the GE Black Box Theater. There's smaller venues within it. Even the studio that we're in today is part of that arts and entertainment district that we've built over the last decade. And the Mohawk Harbor is a $175 million project of mixed-use housing, retail. There'll be a harbor on the canal, the Mohawk River, for boats to come in there. And we were fortunate to get the designation for a casino. So that's going to, again, be done in a manner that will complement the development that's happened downtown. And with the casino, there's going to be 1,200 new jobs. And I look forward to the opportunity to take those individuals. We're going to have new job opportunities and look to market home ownership opportunities in the adjacent neighborhoods.
I want to get to the casino in just a moment, but as far as the neighborhoods are concerned, you've mentioned the blighted housing and so on, and attracting people in. Is that really the most pressing issue in neighborhoods, or do you see other issues that are as pressing, if not more so?
The home ownership, I believe, is the solution. Where increasing the home ownership rate displaces the other negatives that occur in the neighborhoods, and where you have absentee landlords, property that are blighted. We've been very aggressive in our foreclosure process, where we had people who just weren't paying taxes. They were creating such a negative influence, as driving down property values on adjacent property or property in the neighborhood, and you couldn't get people to come in and look at housing opportunities because you would see a building that had been blighted, burned out. It's been sitting there for the last 10 years, 15 years. 3 mayors, 4 mayors before me said they're going to deal with it. Nobody's done anything. People don't believe you unless you actually implement something. And so we've gone in and demolished the properties and are sending a message out where we want to work with the neighbors to, in fact, what I believe is to create long-term sustainable value through home ownership.
Now, you mentioned the neighborhoods, and with a smaller group of people, lower property values, you do have some of the highest tax burden in the state here in Schenectady. Is your plan for improving the neighborhoods going to be your key to actually getting those high taxes under control? Is the casino the key? How is that going to happen so that taxpayers who are, quite frankly, becoming quite impatient see some relief in taxes, substantial relief?
It is. In the 4 years I've been in office, the tax levy has remained the same. It is actually slightly lower. The city tax is approximately a little over 30% of your tax bill. So just under 70% is controlled by the school district and the county. And the school district is roughly 52% of it. And if you look at the state aid formulas, the Schenectady School District comes up short on that funding formula and also on the municipal aid formula. And that has translated into higher property taxes, where residents of this community want the same level of services that are provided in other urban areas. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at, we're holding the taxes in line in 2017, or in 16 and 2017, and predicting a high degree of confidence as the casino comes online in Mohawk Harbor, where you've got the residential component. We'll see approximately a 10% cut in taxes then, and then when we get a full year the following year, you should see, again, additional reduction in property taxes.
Now, you did mention the school district. The Schenectady schools are also a significant part of that tax equation. Are you working in partnership with them at all to try and get the burden that they face mitigated?
Yes, we have tried to lobby the state. School districts actually following more formal process, looking at actually suing to bring equity or have the state live up to its formula. But I've worked with Larry Spring in terms of marketing the neighborhoods, where I've taken command staff in the police and fire department to work with realtors and other department heads when people come in, so that they understand the good things about the neighborhood. If there are questions, we're able to answer them. Larry has made himself available, building principals, department heads, to answer people's questions and to show the offering of courses and programs that are available in the Schenectady City Schools that really are, in a lot of cases, better than some of the suburban districts that sometimes get higher ratings. You look at, Larry quotes some interesting numbers. There's 600 and some students in a normal graduating class. But if you track that class from elementary, middle school through high school, you get 2,100 students are in the class. There's a big rotation. If a student has spent 3 or more years in the Schenectady School District, the graduation rate is just slightly under 95%. That rivals suburban districts. And it's, again, going back to the housing component, you have to create some stability in the houses, in their homes, where the kids live and their families, where you can allow the teachers to do their jobs. And we've had discussions and are working on a regional approach with mayors in Albany and Troy, and then the respective superintendents of schools.
As far as attracting new business is concerned, that seems to have it's become a fairly, would appear to be a relatively easy process here in downtown. But what about some of the neighborhood areas? And I'm thinking areas like Crane Street and so on. What about attracting new business there? What are the efforts being done there? How successful are you at having that happen?
And again, the primary focus has been on downtown.
Right.
And it has produced really tremendous results. We're now moving out of downtown. Again, we're trying to do the housing in the neighborhoods. We're working up State Street. You're seeing activity at proposal at State and Brandywine. We're looking to go up Van Vranken Avenue, go up State, go up Albany Street, Crane Street, and Broadway. And it's that progression where, again, it's following on the model of downtown, where you may not happen as fast as people would like, but it will happen. It's to identify a building, to fix it up, do some adaptive reuse, get whether it's a business, homeowner back in there. And again, downtown has been the product of 12 years of focused effort. Mm-hmm. There's 200 and some parcels downtown. There's 16,000 parcels in the neighborhoods. And so I really approach it as a decade-long campaign. We've paved more streets in the last 4 years at a lower cost than any mayor in recent memory. We're doing that investment where we're knocking down, again, the worst of the worst, which then gets people to reconsider opportunities that exist within the neighborhoods in those commercial districts.
Will your redevelopment plans for the neighborhoods have any kind of a direct result on the violence and drug problems that exist there now?
Yes. In our policing, where, and unfortunately we're losing Brian Kilcullen, but the DDAX model, which is a data-driven policing, so that we're putting police where the problems are. It's being managed it has produced over the last 4 years a steady decrease in all of the Part 1 crimes. So in fact now the city of Schenectady has the lowest crime rate of any city in the Capital District.
To the casino, what gives you confidence in light of difficulties in Atlantic City, difficulties among some casinos in Las Vegas, difficulties in some casinos internationally, that the one in Schenectady is going to work up to your expectations?
I feel fortunate where the casino operator, Rush Gaming, is really a real estate developer. They got in the casino business late in their corporate life. They are approaching some of the other ones that you reference. Those are casinos where they wanted everything to happen within their property. They wanted people to go there to eat, to drink, to stay in their hotel, to gamble there. Rush Gaming is approaching this in a manner where they want to complement the activity that is happening in downtown. They want to cross-market within the community. They're talking about, again, working with the city in terms of ownership opportunities with their employees. And yes, they want activity there, but they don't see themselves as the be-all, end-all. And again, they're real estate developers, so that they understand that creating value within a community or adjacent to their property is just as important as maintaining their property.
Mm-hmm. But why, given that they're primarily real estate developers, how assured are you that their casino operation will actually be successful to the extent that it will allow you to lower the property taxes?
They, again, you have to trust some of the market studies. They run 3 other facilities in Pennsylvania, in Illinois. They've been very successful at those. Where they've put them in, the crime rate has gone down in the adjacent properties. They're very sophisticated in their analysis and their marketing, so that I'm comfortable that we will be able to live up to those projections that they're making.
Thank you, Mayor Gary McCarthy, for taking time to join me today to share your thoughts and ideas about the important issues facing us in Schenectady County and the entire Capital Region. To see interviews with candidates for the mayor of the city of Schenectady, please visit www.capitalregionchamber.com. And remember to vote on Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd.